Going in?
Hey, Mr. Meyer.
Hey.
Robert Howard, NetSuite. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing very well. Lane Meyer.
Hey, before I forget, I want to go ahead and hand you my business card just so we don't walk out of here and don't know how to contact me.
Sure. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Great. Well, Mr. Meyer, I'm really excited to be here this afternoon. I've done a little research on your company, and so I think I understand your product, and I was actually kind of the value of your service came real to me this weekend. I was helping my mom cook some bacon, and afterwards there's always that nasty, hot grease, and I was trying to pour it into the old can, old soup can, and I just spilled it everywhere. And so I definitely see the value in your business. I'm excited to get to understand that this afternoon.
Well, good. I'm glad you have that connection, and I'm ready to hear what you have to say.
Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Meyer, there are a few things I wanted to accomplish this afternoon. First of all, I just want to confirm, Barbara said on the phone that we have about 20 minutes. Is that still the case?
Yeah, 20 minutes will work for me. I'm a pretty busy man.
Sure. I understand. Okay. Well, Mr. Meyer, there are a few things I'd like to do this afternoon. The first is I'd like to confirm some research I've done. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. Then next, I'd like to find what's working for you and what isn't working for you in terms of your business management software situation. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
And then finally, I'd like to show you how NetSuite can become a very positive relationship management tool for Rossi. Does that sound okay to you?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay, great. And I'm so fired to show you what we've got in store for you all because our customers consistently show double-digit returns within 9 months or less after implementing NetSuite.
Sure.
So I think you're really like what you see.
Sure. Well, Robert, I got to tell you, I'm kind of curious about the price aspect of this. How much it's going to cost me?
Sure.
How much is it going to cost me right now?
Warren, I'm going to give you that number, but can we make that number 4 on our agenda? Because I want to give you the whole layout of the system to give you a more accurate idea of what the price is.
Sure. All right.
Okay.
We'll put it on 4th. That sounds good.
Okay. Fantastic. And then, Mr. Meyer, if we could find a match between our product's capabilities and Rossi's wants and needs, would you be able to make that decision today?
I always confirm with Bob Franklin, my chief finance officer, before I make buying decisions like this. So that's not a decision I'd be able to make today, but I would definitely, if we could find a match between needs and wants, I could pursue that in the future, yeah.
Okay, so if we could find that match, you'd be willing to consider a change in business management software?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, great. And is there any way we could get your associate in here right now?
Actually, he's in Las Vegas right now, so we'll have to...
Business trip?
Yeah, business trip.
I understand.
Casinos or something like that.
Wouldn't mind being there right now. Okay, well, first off, Mr. Meyer, I need to get the big picture for Rossi. Can you kind of cast the vision for me?
Sure. Well, as you probably know, if you did some research, we were started by the Boudreaux, and we're really focused on customer satisfaction. The customers are the most important part of our business, and so through growing our business, we want to grow customer satisfaction and help their businesses function well, and in return, it's going to help our business grow and function well.
Okay, so you say your main focus right now is growth.
Sure.
And I guess since you're the VP of sales growth specifically.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, Mr. Meyer, have you had any prior experience with NetSuite?
I looked at the product. Me and Bob looked at the product a while ago, but I looked at several others. I mean, nothing really in particular.
Sure. And then, what is your projected sales growth for this year?
Since I've been here for about 5 years, and we've grown at about 25%.
25%. Wow, that's impressive.
Every year.
That speaks a lot to your leadership.
Yeah. I do have a question for you though. In looking at some of those other CRM systems and stuff, is NetSuite web hosted?
It is. It is web based or cloud based.
Cloud based. Okay. Well, then in that case, I know that security is kind of an issue as far as modern day. What kind of protection are you going to offer me? How are you going to protect me from hackers?
Well, that's a really great question to ask, and especially with so much sensitive information on the system, that's our primary concern as well, is making sure that your confidential information remains confidential, and NetSuite actually encrypts all of your data with the same grade security that bank systems use. Okay. That's 74-bit in computer language.
74-bit, okay.
Yes, sir. So 74-bit encryption is what NetSuite employs.
Rob, I don't know a whole lot about computers, so I'm going to take your word on that 74-bit. That sounds like a good number.
Sure. And then, just kind of speaking back to sales growth, can I assume that a 1% increase in sales would be right at $100,000?
Rob, to be honest, it's more about $250,000.
$250,000. Okay.
1% increase.
Okay. And then, For your current sales strategy, are there any key customers that really, make your portfolio what it is?
Restaurants are really kind of the bread and butter of our customer base. We've had a lot of success with casinos also.
Okay.
We opened a relationship with the Trump organization, Donald Trump.
Wow.
And so we've linked that to a lot of other hotel casino operators.
Okay, sure.
That's why Bob is in Las Vegas right now. He's working with some casinos. And I'll tell you that the casinos within a given market tend to kind of bargain collectively for service-related contracts.
Sure. So, I guess cost will once again be important to you, making sure that you can remain the most qualified service provider as well as the most cost-effective one.
Sure. Yep.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, great. Well, when I was looking at your website, I was looking at your map of locations. I counted 74 locations across the United States. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So can I understand the sales force of 150 salespeople?
Our sales force is actually about 200 sales reps.
200 sales reps. Okay. And then would it be 30 or 40 back office people?
Closer to 50, actually.
Closer to 50. Okay.
Yeah.
So in total, your sales organization is composed of 250 support staff as well as support staff and salespeople combined.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Great. And then, Mr. Meyer, I'd really like to take a look at your current business management software setup and see what's working for you and what's not working for you. Would that be okay?
Sure. Absolutely.
Great. Well, all services are set up of three main components, so I'd like to take a look at each one and see kind of what your current situation is and what you wish it would be. Right here we have finance and accounting, your ERP, your enterprise resource planning.
Sure.
And now, is that system that you all currently have, is that fee for service, or is it a proprietary system that you all count yourself?
That's actually a fee for service.
Fee for service. Okay.
I don't know if Barbara told you about this, but they're legacy systems, and actually they're experiencing kind of a takeover right now. So
sure.
We're looking at our other options because we're not sure what the future of that company is.
Sure. So we make sure that we set you up for the future to be successful in that smooth transition from that legacy system to the next. Okay, great. And then I was on your website, and it has a customer portal. Do you do much in the way of web sales?
Our website is becoming more important. It hasn't been in the past, but as we grow, it's growing with us, and it's really becoming important.
Okay, perfect. And then finally, what are you all currently employing in terms of customer relationship management?
CRM system using Microsoft Outlook.
Microsoft Outlook.
Yeah.
Okay, and then actually, are these systems communicating together? And what I mean by that is your finance accounting sharing any information with your e-commerce?
A little bit. There's some integration that's been achieved, but it's still kind of patchy.
Sure.
To be honest, it's pretty inadequate for our needs.
Okay, so it's not consistently performing?
Sure.
Okay, and then in terms of e-commerce and CRM, how do those two communicate?
Pretty similar.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I guess I would also assume that CRM and finance and accounting don't communicate very well either.
Yeah, that's safe to assume.
Okay. And then in terms of just what your two biggest needs are, to reach your next level of growth, what will those primary concerns be?
My needs to meet that next level, you're saying?
Sure.
I think it's just going to be a matter of my sales reps, my employees being able to anticipate my customers' needs, be there for them whenever they would need them.
Okay.
I'll tell you this, I consider myself to be pretty creative.
Sure.
And we have a current leadership position in the market. We're pretty close to number one in the market, if not number one.
Okay.
I need a system that's going to give me a competitive advantage that grows into me as my needs adjust.
Sure. So scalability.
Yeah, I want to work with a creative systems provider. But then I'll also tell you this one more for you. I'm really interested in cutting overhead. It's pretty critical to me to grow my business, and I want a system that's going to enable me to grow while cutting overhead, cutting costs. Okay,
so you want to grow while cut overhead, and you also want to be able to anticipate what your customers will need?
Yeah, I would say probably more importantly, it's going to be cutting overhead, but then also getting that competitive advantage that's going to enable me to grow. Those are probably the two most important ones.
Sure. Okay.
Sorry, Rob, I took you for a loop there, buddy.
No, it's okay. And then, just going back to your whole setup right now, would you say that your current business management software is helping you achieve those goals?
Not really.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being very poor and 10 being excellent, where would you put it?
Probably about a 4.
A 4, okay.
Yeah, not too satisfied.
So what would a 9 or 10 look like for you? What is your system missing that you wish it had?
I mean, like I kind of mentioned earlier, I want something that's going to give me that competitive advantage. It's going to give me visibility, transparency with my customers.
Okay.
Being able to take care of their needs to the best of my ability and know when to take care of those needs when
Sure.
they need it.
So, Mr. Meyer, looking back over the past 12 months, how's your system being a 4 impacted your ability to effectively manage relationships with your customers?
You know, it's probably lost me some sales, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I think I've had one or two companies that have decided not to go with me because they were concerned with my ability to meet their needs. So there's definitely been kind of a dollar amount there that I've lost some sales from.
Okay, and so you kind of just spoke to it, but obviously, with your system being a 4, it has adversely affected your ability to, drive sales.
Yeah, it has.
Sure. Okay. And Mr. Meyer, in the time we have remaining, if I could show you how NetSuite can help your sales force become more effective relationship managers, and how they could be better anticipators of what the customers are going to need, and how, as the head, kind of looking down at the entire organization, you would be able to, see in one quick glance, like transparency of, all different areas. Would you be interested in considering a change?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, fantastic. Mr. Meyer, let me pull up my PowerPoint here. I'm sorry.
While you're doing that, Robert, I think I was kind of unclear with you about that number 4 being as far as the sales productivity thing.
Sure.
If I lose that number 1 position, it's going to cost me about $1 million a year.
Wow.
I don't know how important that is to you, but...
Well, if it's important to you, it's definitely important to me, Mr. Meyer. All right, Mr. Meyer, I'm going to slide around here just so we're both talking the same way.
Make room for it?
Sure. Okay, so NetSuite is it's one system, no limits. And so you spoke to creativity, and that's our motto, that's our mantra. And so we're on the same page with you there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so what is NetSuite? It's the #1 cloud-based ERP and financial suite system on the market.
Sure.
And so that means that anywhere you go, it's there as well. All your data is in the cloud, so you can access it, via iPad, iPhone, tablet, computer, desktop, anywhere you are, it can be there with you. And then these are just a broad swath of some of the awards we've won. And then, why NetSuite? One of the things you mentioned was transparency and ability to anticipate. And so that's one of the features of NetSuite is being able to have a 360-degree customer view. And so with that view, we can go from our suspect to the lead to the prospect to the quality, all the way around to the order to the repurchase. And NetSuite helps your salespeople anticipate when they're going to need to contact that customer who hasn't spoken with in a while.
Sure.
Does that look good to you?
Yeah, it looks real good, actually.
Okay. And so how does NetSuite work? Well, this is what's called our dashboard right here, and I apologize, my server's down right now, the system, my internet is down, so I won't be able to pull up the interactive dashboard, but hope it suffices for now.
Yeah, we'll work with it.
Great. Well, as you can see, like right here, this is what's called a KPI, or a key performance indicator. And so all of these actually are key performance indicators. And this home screen or dashboard gives you in one glance exactly where your sales organization is.
Okay.
I mean, think about when you drive your car, you look down at the dashboard, and also in one quick glance, I'm going 75 miles an hour. My tank, I have a quarter tank left. My fuel pressure is here. And if you have a GPS unit, you can say, I'm exactly here. And in a sense, the dashboard for NetSuite does the exact same thing for your sales organization.
Okay.
And so you had mentioned that you all are very goal-oriented and are looking for that next level. And so, like, what this KPI does is it's your sales like billing. So if you had a goal set and said, okay, we want to reach this number, it shows you meter by quarter of how close you are to that goal. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, fantastic. And our customers have consistently found this is what they need to take guesswork out of the sales process.
Okay.
And then the next thing I wanted to do is just talk about how NetSuite can give you more for less. You said that one of the most important things to your strategy making business management software decision is cutting overhead. And so by taking the guesswork out of the sales process, you'll be able to, in one instant, look at all of your salespeople and see where they are. And so instead of you having to track them down and talk to all your managers and then talk to your salespeople, takes up all that time you need to do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And so in a sense, it's helping you work faster, you're working smarter, and you're going to know the numbers exactly right the first time.
Okay. Sounds real good.
Sure. And then I'll expect you to take my word for it. Mr. Meyer, I'll switch to the other side of the table.
Sure.
But if you will read right here, Nucleus Research is a third-party research company that we've asked to take a look at our numbers and take a look at who we're talking with. So could you just give me a second to read some of these testimonials?
It's supposed to be pretty simple, huh?
Oh, extremely simple.
All right. It's pretty convincing numbers right there, Mr. Robert.
Absolutely. So wouldn't you agree that a 12.5% boost in sales productivity would be pretty exciting?
Yeah.
I mean,
that would be outstanding.
you mentioned to me that a 1% increase in sales is worth $250,000. So we're talking, over $1 million increased cash flow just for simply implementing a new business management software system.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree that's pretty exciting?
That is pretty exciting.
Fantastic. Well, Mr. Meyer, you indicated to me earlier that you have 250 people within your sales organization between back office and sales people in your field.
Yeah.
And so I would recommend to implement the entire sales force with NetSuite. It's $1,548 per year per user. And so
That's pretty steep there, Robert.
I understand a lot of customers have felt that way at the initial onset of the number, but what they have found is that the increase in cash flow far outweighs the cost. And so 250 people times 1,548, my calculator.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. Anyway, we're talking about $1 million plus in sales increase.
Pretty impressive.
Absolutely. I think it's impressive enough, too, for us to go ahead and schedule our next meeting with your VP of Purchasing. Would you agree?
Yeah, we can include Bob on that one.
All right. Fantastic. Well, let's go ahead and set a date. My next Thursday or next Friday are open to me anytime in the afternoon.
You tell Robert, I tell you, I do all my scheduling with my secretary, so you want to stop by and see her.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Mr. Meyer, I'm excited to put together a presentation for you next time.
Yeah.
And we'll get Bob in here, and we'll see if we can't bring in $1 million plus in cash flow for you.
That sounds good. Look forward to meeting with you.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Mr. Meyer.
Absolutely.
Have a great afternoon.
Take care. Pretty well.